Hello, guys, and welcome back. Ron here, Mastering the Execution, episode number 2. Just wanted to go ahead and cover this day. This is October 5th, 2018. One of the trades we took this day was Amazon. We were able to profit 21.99.7. Just trading Amazon this day. It's one of the trades that we took this day, and I just want to cover this one before I cover the rest. And we'll go ahead and get started here. So let's take a look here. We look at Amazon on October the 5th. We were able to take profit by taking some trades on the put side. And then we obviously took a loss on the call side. I tried to play both sides, even though I was mostly bearish for the day. But I was like, hey, you know what? Let me make a quick scalping play. As you can see here, I did go a little bit more aggressive, trying to capitalize on a quick short move higher. But it failed. Ultimately, it failed because it did not reach the level I was expecting. So I cut it loose and I just rode the wave down as I initially planned, and I just let it go. So here we go. So we initiated. This was our first trade of the day. We did initiate a little later at 10:06 just because of the market conditions for the day. Just wanted to wait a little longer just to make sure it was going to be safe, and we knew the direction that we were headed. So that's why we waited a little longer. As you can see here on the second trade we took, it was Amazon again, but I bought calls. I did not close my put calls. You see, I had already had puts. So as the market reversed, I still kept my puts because I was just looking to make a quick scalping play. But when it failed, ultimately 30 minutes later, it was like, you know what? It's not going to hit that pivot I was expecting it to hit. So I just cut it loose and took my loss. And then I added to my put position here. So you can see here, I initially got those at 1665. Added a little bit more at a different strike. So I got the 1900s at this time. I added a little bit more here just to increase my profit for the day. Let's get rid of this so we don't get confused. So I added more at 1900, and we had originally the 1910s. Both of these are in the money, so we can take advantage. And then we went ahead and started taking profits at 1135, selling those 1910s first at 24 and 30 cents. So that's an $8 profit, just shy of a full $8. And then we sold just under 20 minutes later. We went ahead and sold the other set at 1900 at 25.55, so just shy of $20 for those there, for a full profit. Before the end of the day, we went ahead and bought some more at 1900 at $5, and we sold those at 13.55. So let's just go ahead and do a quick review of that, so you guys can see how this day played out. First thing we're looking at here is where the tick open. I don't like when the tick opens around the 0 mark. Why? Because it tells me that the markets may start moving sideways as they get started, and it's just not how I want to initiate my day. I don't want to get stuck in a position for hours or in a position that may quickly reverse against me and make my day start in the red. So I was a little cautious, which is why we started to wait till 10:06. Once we saw the tick start breaking lower, and even though it didn't hit the extreme levels I normally look for, which is 500 to 1,000 on the downside, and the same 500 to 1,000 on the high side, it did start forming a trend below 0 here, which is what I want to see. So at 9:55, 10 o'clock, once I saw that it kept pushing to the 0 mark and then lower and forming this nice trend below 0, even here it pushed higher, didn't hit the 500 mark and just came right back down. It gave me a good sign. Hey man, the market is going to continue lower like it's been doing, and this is a good time to get in. The VIX was climbing higher. 10 o'clock, hit the pivot, broke the pivot, going higher. Markets again hit their pivots, broke the pivots lower, and it was just a good time. So let's take a look at Amazon now. So what are we looking on Amazon is this. Okay, Amazon, pretty much I boxed it in with the pivot and then with the market pre-market low. But again, we did have a bearish bias, so I was not going to be taking a long position unless it pretty much broke well above this. So even though it closed higher here, the markets have been falling. I'm not going to start taking positions going higher, but at the same time, I don't want to get stuck on a range bound market. I didn't want to see it get stuck between this pivot and this 50 period moving average here, for example. I didn't want to get stuck in that rut. So once again, once it broke 950, started pushing below that 50 moving average. And here at 10 o'clock, 955 candle, closed below it. Okay, now we're starting to see signs that, okay, we have life below this 50 MA. The markets were already signaling that. So I was like, okay, it's time to take a trade. So we waited all the way until about 10:06, which was on this candle here. Now that we had some bearish confirmation here, which was a little late, I would say, but at the same time, it was when I was comfortable entering, not late in the sense of on a longer picture, because we are looking on the longer picture, but I did want to see this break this low here, kind of like the pre-market low before I took the trade. Because again, I don't want to get stuck. So now my stop for this trade, I am looking at a longer time frame, but I am pretty much here intraday and on the or close above here on the daily time frame. But we are pretty much very bearish. So this was the trade for the day. We were going lower. So you saw that I did take a trade on Amazon on the call side, and the only reason I took that trade was because, like, oh, you know what, this is probably gonna hit this pivot here. So I did go in a little heavier, as you saw. At 10:29, I took the trade, which was on this candle here, and it was a terrible entry, obviously. I took this trade near the close of this candle, expecting it to hit this pivot. I did go a little heavier, but I was like, you know what, it'll probably bounce here and then continue lower. So I went a little heavier for a quick scalp play. Again, I'm terrible at scalp plays. I don't really do too well on them, so I don't take them that often. My trades work out better when I look at the bigger picture for the longer time frame. So I took the trade, failed. I took the trade for about 20, what was it, like 20, 30 minutes or so, and I closed the trade at 11:03. On this candle here, when obviously 50% of the move coming back down. It's like, you know what, this is not going any higher. Let me just cut my losses here. I took a $1,200 hit, so I'm already down $1,291. And the day wasn't starting out that good, as I'm already down for the day. I was still green on my initial position, but damn, I'm already down, which is, locked in. I'm down $1,291. But what I did was at 11:06 on this candle here, I went ahead and added to my initial position. So I had the 1910s initially. On here, I added the 1900s. And you may notice that I'm obviously adding in the money, puts, just because they will retain value. So even if they go against me, I'll be able to get rid of them at a higher value than if they were significantly out of the money. So I went ahead and added to my position here. By 11:35, I went ahead and I started collecting profits. So 11:35 on this candle, I took some profits on my 1910 puts. So I was able to capitalize a good chunk of change on that one. So I bought those for $16.65 and I sold them for $24.30. So that was a decent profit there, about $8 on the option. And then I sold my 1900s, which I bought for $6.50. I sold those at $11.52. So this candle here, I sold those for $25.55. So again, a decent profit on those. Obviously, what I was looking at here, RSI is low. RSI is low also on the 30-minute candles, and like I said before, if the 30-minute candle is below those 20 marks on both, it's more than likely that the next candle is going to bounce higher. And I was just like, you know what, let me cut these positions here and take my earnings for the day, and maybe I'll take a trade later on in the day, which is exactly what I did. So fast forward to 3 o'clock at 15:13. So we have this nice pattern formed here, bouncing off of the 200 MA on the 5-minute. 15:10. right here, 15.10, 15.10, 15.13. I took the trade. So after this nice pattern bouncing off of the 200, I felt comfortable. So here we have, again, boom, 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 3 times, basically bouncing off of the 200 MA. I took the trade. It's a short trade. Took this trade at 15.13, closed it at 15.35. So just shy of 20 minutes. And I cut the trade here on this candle here. And that was it for the day as far as Amazon goes. Which was my last trade of the day, actually. 15.35 was the last trade of the day. When I closed this position, at 15.35, that was it. Called it a day. Again, as you can see here, boom, bounced off, going higher. Okay, I'm taking my profits. So 15.35 and 0.5 seconds. I went ahead and took my profits and called it a day, and that's how I was able to capitalize and make $2,199.70 on Amazon this day. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next episode.